Lights go down in the city. There's whiskey in my aching bones. Heaven only knows I can't keep up at all. Sleeping next to the phone, it's never pretty. Looks like you got the best of me. Maybe the fool in me, but I'm waking up.
Browns back to losing. All that familiar feeling, folks. This is the Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara, alongside Browns insider from WKYC Sports in Cleveland, Matt Florjancic. We'll get through this one together, folks, and listen. Hey, there's 2 more games left. We can see the finish line. We had that last blip of success against the San Francisco 49ers, and the question was it a mirage? Was it because the 49ers were so bad? Could they keep it up? And all our questions were answered. The defense still sucks. The offense, who said, Matt, that they were going to cut it loose. I think we saw them, quote-unquote, cut it loose maybe twice with 2 gadget plays in the first half, and then it was back to normal. Not really surprised they lost in Seattle. Like this is pretty much what we expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think everybody pretty much expected a loss, a lopsided one at that. They held strong for the first quarter. Then you saw that talent separates from a good game plan. The Browns started the game with a good game plan.
Sure.
They went marched down the field, 80 yards, 15 plays, capped it off with a touchdown, looked good doing it, and then all of a sudden, the talent just rose. I mean, Seattle's a talented team, and they've been to back-to-back Super Bowls for a reason. They're not a bad football team by any stretch of the imagination. They're having a down year by their standards, but this team is built for late in the year, and they looked like it. They played like it. They acted like it. They believed like it, and we're really starting to see all the mismanagement of the roster come back and bite Mike Pettine's coaching staff in the backside, and there's nothing they can do. I believe that this coaching staff's getting the most, at least on the offensive side of the football, they're getting the most out of their guys.
Well, yeah.
I don't know that I can say the same, but I will say the offense is at least trying to make plays.
Yes, exactly. And remember the storyline going in, of course, was Mike Pettin, and it was overblown. Mike Pettin wasn't directly insulting Russell Wilson. It maybe was taken out of context, but he didn't take the safe route in saying Russell Wilson isn't at that elite tier of quarterback. And if you look at the season and the careers as a whole, I think most people would agree with that. However, in the last now 5 games, Russell Wilson, arguably the best quarterback in football. 21 for 30 against the Browns, 249 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Last 5 games, 19 TDs, 0 picks. Oh, and by the way, averaging a quarterback rating of above 140. Dude's absolutely on fire. And Matt, the holes, the chinks in the armor, as lame a term as that is with this Browns run defense, came through because Seattle had Christine Michael, who they released earlier. The Dallas Cowboys cut him. He ran for 84 yards. Russell Wilson went for 46. Bryce Brown off the scrap heap came in. All in all, 182 yards on the ground. Like, Matt, if we had any thought that maybe this team at the very last minute in the season was getting it and the defense finally clicked, it all came crashing back down to earth. Like, this is the same crappy defense we have seen all season long, and the 49ers game was just a little blip.
Yeah, it was an anomaly for sure, and I think the Browns got exactly what they deserved and what everybody expected against the Seahawks team. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew it wasn't going to be fun to watch, but we figured out maybe they'll pull a surprise or at least show that they've got some gumption. This defense was absolutely atrocious. They were arm tackling and whiffing like crazy. It was just bad football, and defensively, I know Mike Pettin says he sees effort and energy from his guys, but I see it being a one-sided affair. I don't see that energy and effort on defense. I don't think guys care. They care more about getting into fights on the sideline than they do about actually making plays. I saw more fire, more you-know-what and vinegar than out of Charles Gaines when he was trying to take out Dante Whitner and he was trying to go hit a quarterback. I mean, come on, man. You can't be doing that. That's a veteran that's trying to help you. I don't care if you feel disrespected or not. You're a damn rookie. Shut your mouth. Keep everything, every lesson that comes your way, keep it in mind that somebody's trying to help the team. They could give a damn whether they embarrass you or not. It's about the team. And this whole culture that is being embedded in the Browns and, you know, in young people in America in general, just this entitlement crap has really just got to stop, because these young cats think that they can come in and they can be hot, you know what, and quite frankly, they're not anything yet. They haven't proven a damn thing to anybody.
And
they're going to go shove a 10-year veteran, 3-time Pro Bowler? Get the hell out of here, man. If I was a coach and I saw that, I don't care how many defensive backs I was down, I would have ripped that jersey off of Charles Gaines' shoulder pads, and I would have taken his helmet and I would have sent him on the. He would have had to pay for his flight home because I wouldn't have let him on the team plane.
Matt, here's the thing: if you are a first-round draft pick, except on the Browns because we know how those turn out, but in general, I can get you got swagger, you got an attitude, you think you're top of the heap type of thing, and maybe you do that to a vet. Not that it's acceptable, but I can see that sense of entitlement if you're a first-round pick. If you're an undrafted 5'0" corner, what? Like, come on, man.
Well, he slipped too late in the draft.
Sorry, you're right. Sixth round.
Discipline issues.
Yeah.
At Louisville. He was a head case there, and he got into arguments with his coaches.
Yeah.
And they parked his butt.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You want to double-hand push Dante Whitner? He's not going to park you. He's going to drop you. Okay? And fortunately for your sake, there was an assistant coach and a very brave linebacker who got in between Dante and you. Otherwise, there would be an imprint of your jersey still on the field at CenturyLink.
Yeah, Dante's a bad man. Dante Whitner's a bad man. So, a sixth-round pick, Charles Gaines, again, like, it just goes to the lack of discipline from this coaching staff. It goes to the lack of accountability. It goes to the cream puff training camp all the way back to veteran days off. Guys just know they don't have to show up. And that brings us to our Twitter question here on the Doghouse. Your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. Andy McNamara alongside Matt Fleur-Jancic on Twitter at AndyMC81 at Matt Fleur-Jancic. We're brought to you in part by Ball Sharks, ballsharks.com, a brand new daily pick'em sports site for real money. They will be launching in 2016, so check out ballsharks.com on Twitter, ball_sharks. Going to be a great site. Keep an eye out for that. But our Twitter question is, now that the finish line is in sight, the light's at the end of the tunnel, and you things are going to be blown up in one way or another. So our Twitter question is, at AndyMC81, at Matt Fleur-Jancic, if you had to, if Jimmy Haslam said, I'm not paying out everybody, you got to keep one coach on this Brown staff, who would it be? We'll get to your answers in the Barkov a little bit later on in the show at AndyMC81 at Matt Fleur-Jancic. So, Matt, we'll hold off on our answers on that till a little bit later on. But you mentioned that the defense and on the offensive, we'll get to the offensive side because there were some positives there that they weren't trying. I saw spurts of guys trying. I saw Carlos Dansby caring. I saw Carlos. Now, I think it's clear this season he has lost a step, and that adds another hole that the Browns are going to have to fill, a true inside linebacker replacement, whether you bring Dansby back or not. I thought Dansby cared. He had 10 total tackles to lead the way. I thought Danny Shelton cared, especially earlier. The rookie was hitting it up hard. Those are two guys. I thought Xavier Cooper cared. And in part with Shelton and Cooper, they were from or went to school in the Washington State area, so there's a little bit of motivation. Desmond Bryant, Armonte Bryant. A few of the guys really, I thought, you saw effort on every play. Matt, I'm most concerned about the secondary. This secondary, which was touted as the best, just seems soft. It seems disorganized. And I'm sorry, as nice as a guy or as nice as a special teams player Johnson Batamosi is, if he's playing cornerback for you, you're screwed. He is not a cornerback. He's a gunner on special teams. He does a great job of it. For him to get significant time, it just shows I don't know what Mike Pettine's thinking, Matt, because to have Batamosi in that role is an abomination. Like, do you really expect to win a game with him covering the Seattle Seahawks?
Not a chance in hell.
Come on, man.
I mean, the guy came into the league as a corner and was converted immediately to safety. because he was not able to play corner at the NFL level, and it was quite clear quite early in his career that he couldn't do it. And, that was under a previous coaching regime, and now they give him a shot to play corner again because they're just that decimated at injury. I don't care. I would rather see Pierre Desir out there, and hell, I would rather see Justin Gilbert out there.
Yes.
Somebody who may at some point be able to play the position. You're going in a game that you're more than likely going to lose anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And to play Johnson Batamosi at cornerback is absolutely absurd.
Yeah.
You get switched to safety from corner when you're old and your career is on its last leg. That's how his NFL career started.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a good move, and we've got these young cats on the roster. Maybe they'll play with some heart. I know that was a question with Gilbert early in his career, but damn it, maybe he finally got the message. Let's give him a try. We got nothing left to lose. We're 3-11.
Yeah.
Why is Jonathan Batamosi on anything but special teams? I will not know, other than the fact that the coaches say he's earned it. Well, I'm sorry, but this isn't a participation trophy league. They give one Lombardi trophy, not 32.
Yeah.
Okay, if you want to sit there and be the best, you can't give a guy that's quote-unquote earned it the job when he's incapable of doing it. I don't care if he's earned more playing time. He can be a great practice player, and I'm sure he is. But the game's played on Sundays, not Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's a mismanagement of a position that is already a weakness, and this just goes to the theme of the defense this year: create weaknesses out of strengths.
Yeah, like Matt, this secondary was also supposed to be a strength, a plus side for bringing in Mike Pettin. It was, all right, get after the quarterback, put the corners on an island, great, and we've seen it fail this year in Buffalo. That scheme style is dying in the National Football League. It is on its way out. And the worst part is, it's not working well when you have a team with two real good corners. It certainly isn't going to work well when your top corner is Traymon Williams, who, by the way, I would have parked him as well on the bench after that face mask at the half to give Seattle a free 3 points and get the ball back in the second half. Absolutely ridiculous. And it just seems, Matt, whatever veteran comes to this team, they just spiral into a doomsday-like state in their career that they just forget how to play football. Traymon Williams,
that's the
no
culture
business.
that Ray Farmer has helped to cultivate.
No business.
Not create, because it was there long before he got there. But he's continued to perpetuate the crap that we have to watch on Sundays, because he brings in one guy from a winning culture or two guys, and he thinks that those two guys can change the locker room. He brought in Paul Kruger, or helped bring in Paul Kruger, because that technically was a signing under Joe Banner and Mike Lombardi, but he was a head scout and assistant general manager when that signing went down. And then he brought in Traymon Williams from good football teams. Understandably, it's a good move. These guys aren't Ray Lewis. They're not Terrell Suggs. They're not guys that are going to lead men. They're not leaders of men. They're good players on good teams. I'm not taking anything away from their talent, but if you're expecting a culture change, you better get somebody that's a leader of men. Dante Whitner, I considered a leader of men when they signed him.
Carlos Dansby, too.
Albeit old, but, older than what they were walking out the door with, DeQuell Jackson and T.J. Ward. When they brought in Whitner and Dansby, it was to get leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And they got leadership from those guys. I'm not going to take it away from them. Those guys are good leaders, but they're at the back end of their careers. They're not in their prime. You need a guy that's in his prime that's going to grab somebody by the face mask on the sideline and be like, hey, Rook, sit your you-know-what down if you want to challenge me. I'm telling you stuff that has worked in the league for a decade and has helped me stay in for 12 years if you're Carlos Dansby, or 11 if you're Dante Whitner. And their teammates just don't listen to him. They don't respect him enough to give him credence. And that is probably the most embarrassing thing of all, because I don't think it's just Charles Gaines that's challenging authority. I think it's all these young guys that are like, hey, what you're doing isn't working because you're getting the bulk of the playing time. We're still getting blown out, so why don't we try it this way? You don't always have the right answer. Do you have a suggestion sometimes? Yeah, and can it work? Sure. But these guys have lasted in the league for a long time, and there's a reason for it. But there's not enough of them. There's not enough of those guys.